Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Bean Apple. We are back with some more baseball today. We've got two no-hitters this week, something you do not see very often. The first no-hitter in Padres history finally pulled off, and an excellent showing from Rondon last night. Incredible, or 2 nights ago. So we're going to do that. So there's a team that somebody is closely associated to that has come out of the gates on fire. The Boston Red Sox are damn near unstoppable right now. And John's going to soak this in a little bit because I don't know how long this is going to last. And then last, of course, today, number 42, Jackie Robinson Day. So talk about that a little bit, reflect on what it was and any good memories. I know there's a certain 42 that rings true to Jim, one of the best ever. So we're going to run through a couple things, keep it kind of open today. So please join the chat. Tell us what you think. Whatever your team is, it doesn't matter. We talk everything. So if you're joining us, please get your thoughts in on what this past week has been for your team or whatever we're talking about. Also, please hit that subscribe button, like the episode, comment away. We've been stuck for a little bit here, kind of hit another lull. We were climbing, kind of keep hitting these little plateaus. So let's bust through this current one that we're on and get to that next level of subscribers. So please just quickly hit that button for us and help us get some more attention. So without further ado, I'm Joe. I am here with John and Jim, and we're going to break down an awesome second week of baseball. But before I let these two talk, today's another special day, I think, for the big guy down at the bottom. From what I hear, 50th birthday. Is that true?
Tomorrow. This is my last show.
Last day.
Being done in my 40s.
Wow.
Yep. Happy.
Yes,
happy
I know I don't look at you guys. Don't have to tell me. Thank you guys.
Yes.
My wife said she was going to get in contact with you. I told her not to. When
but
do wives ever listen to husbands?
Yeah. She's been calling. She's been calling all day.
Yeah, nonstop. Just hey, don't forget.
Sounds like something she would do.
So Jackie, we did not forget, and obviously, happy early birthday from us, and hopefully the fans on here as well. But man, 50.
Last birthday with a 4. My father loved that. Every time I would say last birthday with a 6, last birthday with a 7. This year he's going to be 80 and all.
Nice.
Yeah, this is it. So I'm with 8s now. We're getting older. But yeah, it's enjoy it while you got it.
Yep. Just remember, now that I'm almost 50, age is only a number. It's not a bad thing. Okay. It's going to freak me out tomorrow if I have to fill something out at work. Age. I'm going to put 50 and my hand's going to shake. The pen's going to pop out. It's just going to be awful. So, it is what it is. I'm happy to make it to 50. So hey, you know what? A lot of people don't have this. So you know what? I'm gonna be happy about it tomorrow. In fact, I may brag. I may put on Facebook I'm 50. F all y'all.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
once you see the candles, once you see the 50 on the cake, that's where
I tell my wife I don't want any of that because then I asked for a CAT scan for my birthday. She said no. So I'm like, all right, fine.
Oh, that's good. But yeah, definitely. Hey, a lot of people aren't starting off their own YouTube sports channel at 50, so you're well ahead. You're well ahead of the group.
Absolutely.
So with that, let's talk about your Red Sox. Might as well start off local, right? With a little NYB news. We'll bring that back again. So the Red Sox Yankees, not the way I saw this going. And Jim, no, you neither, huh?
No.
So what is going on?
So first off, before I talk about the Sox, Jim, 2 questions. When's the fire sale? And are you glad that Baltimore is still in our division so you're not in last? They got you you have them by losses now because Seattle did you a favor today and I think beat them twice, right? Yeah, they beat them twice today. So when's the fire sale? I don't even know if we want any of your players because – they're not obviously good enough to win in New York. But anyways, I'll save my Yankee jabs for later. Man, I'll tell you what. So the Sox, they started out 0-3 against Baltimore. They weren't scoring runs. I have to hear the text from you two. Oh, maybe the offense isn't there. And then what happened? Game 4 came. Here comes the runs. Devers has 5 home runs. JD Martinez has 5 home runs. I don't have it in front of me, but I know JD's still batting over 450. Bogey's batting in the 370s. Verdugo's starting to hit. He had a huge 3-run bases clearing double today. Again, top of the 8th. They almost pulled it out. They lost today 4-3. But I love that the game wasn't over. We were down by 3 runs in the 8th, and then the game was not over. We ended up giving up a run in the 9th, and that goes into the pitch and woes that we could have later in the season if we don't have a true closer. But, Barnes has pitched well so far for the Sox, kind of in that role. He has 2 saves, and he's looked pretty decent. Starting pitching, not too bad. Garrett Richards today, he came in with a 10 ERA, gave up no earned runs. They did score 2 off him, but, it's not his fault. So lowered that into the 6s. I know it's not good, but after having a plus 10 and a plus 15 ERA, your first 2 starts, that's not bad. So Erod came back yesterday in the doubleheader and pitched 5 innings, so he got the win last night. Velocity increased as the game went on. And what's kind of cool is I'm listening to these games on radio again. And I'll tell you what, I absolutely love it. It kind of brings back those childhood memories because nobody carries Nesson here. And I know we talked about this, except for Comcast. So now I listen to him on the radio, and I'll tell you what, I absolutely love it, man. I was painting my bathroom last night, listening to Erod mow players down. So it was it's fun. Baseball's fun again for Red Sox fans, especially after last year. Is this going to last? I don't know. Championships aren't won in April. But I'll tell you what, if they can keep this up with Cora's a great motivator. He paid his dues. I know with the cans and the signs and whatever he did with coconuts and whatever the hell he did, I don't care. But I will say that, baseball's fun right now. Cora's brought back an attitude. And, let's face it, they're hitting the ball like crazy. They are hitting the shit out of the baseball. It's a lot of fun. It really is.
You mean like gangbusters?
Gangbusters. The old Chris Berman. I got to give him credit for that one.
Don't let that die.
The gangbusters. Exactly. But 9-4. 9-4. Still early. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to throw this out to the Yankees before we can start talking to them. If they don't start running the bases like they care about winning, I'm telling you, I've been saying this since like the second game when I watched him not run out a ground ball. Boone won't last till July because that team is underachieving. They truly are underachieving. So, and they can't fire the whole team. So who are they going to go after? The guy motivating because, again, another base running blunder last night where the guy didn't tag up from first. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
I don't get it. But you know what? I love seeing that, Jim. Not going to lie, I love seeing it, man.
Yeah.
Because when the Yankees lose, I smile, even if we don't win. So I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, so a couple things. So I do think about how is Boston doing this, right? So they get swept at home against the Orioles, who we all agree is going to be in last place. And then they go on the road and they win 9 out of 10 away from Fenway. So I think to myself, okay, so Cora's back and we know what Cora is capable of. So did he figure out a way to cheat on the road? Is that what's happening? Is this going to continue next week or tomorrow, whenever you guys are back in Fenway? Because how does this switch all of a sudden for JD and Devers and all of these guys now, all of a sudden remember that hit? Cora comes back. Now they all know how to hit again. What were they sandbagging last year? Is that what happened? I just don't understand it. Maybe there's an investigation that's needed here.
I love it. Jim's calling an investigation in week 2.
I'll call. I texted earlier.
God, I hope this lasts because I can hear this all season long. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. I just don't know what it is. I don't think you're comfortable with the pitching staff you have. Yes, you have some guys that can hit when they want to hit. And apparently they're all hitting at the same time now. So that's going to taper off at some point here. And you guys will come back to earth. But yeah, speaking for the Yankees now, yeah, totally inconsistent. We're not getting any length out of our starters. I mean, we're getting 3, 3.5, 4, except for Garrett. Everybody after that has been a toss-up. So, Kluber's struggled. Jameson's been struggling. Herman has been struggling. I mean, they're just not getting it done, not getting the big pitch. They get to 2 strikes, can't put the guy away. There's been, I don't know if you saw the game the other night, the umpire was all over the place, and the calls there must have been at least 20 pitches that were wrong, balls and strikes. I mean, not even close. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe more guys, I don't think anybody got thrown out. And I thought to myself, there's no way we go through the game and no one gets thrown out, or Boone, or really probably Boone gets thrown out, and it didn't happen. But the offense too. I mean, I think we miss Voit. Voigt's a big bat there because DJ's been struggling. Stanton hasn't been doing much. Judge is the only one really carrying it, and really Sanchez. Sanchez has been hitting this year, and strikeouts have gone way down, so that's good to see. And even Higgy is back up. Even last year when he came in, he hits. The kid came in the other night, 2 home runs. Him and Cole. Cole pitches, he hits 2 home runs. He carries the offense for the game, so that's great. But Jay Bruce, he's batting 118, and Tauchman's not doing. You could take either one of those guys whenever you're ready. But I'll tell you, a kid that really is fiery that I didn't really know what to expect. This Roughneck Odor. I mean, this kid. He's on the mound when he's playing second. Anytime there's a mound visit, he's there. He's pounding his glove. He's pounding the guy in the chest. He's talking. The kid's he's so amped up all the time. I wish he would go the other way a couple of times because they shift over on him, and he pulls everything. He's a dead pull hitter. I wish he would start slapping it, just like Bruce. Both the dead pull and neither one are getting hits because they keep hitting into the shift. If either one would stick the bat out, they'd have a double. But I do like Odor, even in the batter's box. He's like, what's the kid, Soto in Washington, where whenever he takes a pitch, he takes like 2 steps up in the box and comes back like he's almost going to charge the pitcher. And he's just a lot of, he's high energy, and I like to see it. And I'm hoping, that's going to carry over with the team here because they do seem excited, a little more excited, guys like Gio Urshela and Glaber and Sanchez with him around. So hopefully they feed off of that and start getting consistent at the plate and winning some games. What do we got here?
Right.
Oh,
sorry, just prepping stuff as you're talking. So,
well, that's good. That was a good segue. Go ahead.
So Jim, last night, did you see Sanchez running the bases?
Yes,
because it was Sanchez last night.
Ridiculous. I mean, it happened a couple weeks ago with Brett Gardner on third.
Yes,
Brett Gardner's on third. The ball bounces up, and maybe from that angle, it looked like it went over his head, and Gardner's fast. So he took 2 or 3 steps, and then he was dead. They turned him around, they threw it to third, and he was finished. I think that actually ended the game, the Gardner play. And really, for all intents and purposes, the Sanchez getting picked off first there, or in the pickle between first and second, that pretty much ended that game, even though it was the 8th inning. Stanton was up, a chance to tie the game, and come on. I think it was Stanton. Somebody was up there that could hit, and they could have tied the game. They were down 3, got 2 guys on, and that was a bad play. But I agree. I agree with you with the Boone thing. I don't know if Boone is the motivator that we need because he's like, the other day after in the post game, he's like, we're not banging. We got to play small ball. We got to do the little things, but they're not doing the little things. They're not. Nobody's bunting except Gardner. Nobody's sacrificing.
Who on the Yankees is a small ball player? Nobody.
Right.
It's all power.
Right.
The Red Sox bunted the other day.
Really?
See Jim, why don't you grab a Sox hat, man? A sacrifice bunt to score a run. And since I seen Alex up there, the Royals did it the other night too. I mean, small ball works.
Aren't the Royals in first place too?
Yeah. The Royals are 6-4 or 7-4, I believe.
6-4.
Maybe it's going to be one of those 1976-77 series Yankees Royals. Those are some good battles.
Look,
Yankees.
The Yankees. You're lucky Baltimore is.
You see where you are on the screen? You're at the bottom on the screen. You see the screen? The Yankees are above you. That's how the standings are going to be.
Jim, like I told you, the Sox are going to rise out of the fire like a phoenix this year. I told you. They're coming for you, man. They're coming.
Come on.
And Johnny Muck. Sorry, guys. I just want to. So Johnny Muck, I was listening. I don't know who those guys are. They're not too bad, but I like how they introduced Joe when he was like, and now Hall of Fame announcer Joe Castiglione, and he's like, yeah, and then just started talking. Didn't say like thanks to him. He was like, look at here, peasants. Step aside, let the master jump in. So, yeah.
Well, before you write that Yankees Red Sox or Yankees Royals series on there, don't forget about the Mariners now on the top of the AL West. Like,
yes. I like Lou. Me too.
That would be something, wouldn't it? Maybe the '95 series, Yankees Seattle. Wow. I don't like that result.
He's still banking on the Yankees. That's awesome.
Of course I am. Everybody in the world. Call Vegas. I'll get him on the phone.
Look at the current stats. So we went back on Alex's thing. So this is, remember when we ended the last show, I was talking about bringing up that Alex Boehm safe call at home. Did you guys get to watch that?
Yes.
I did.
Did you? So I got it queued up. I was going to play it. So if anybody else didn't, but this is what we're talking about, like how this ended the game, and I don't know how they called him safe. So let me bring this up.
Oh God, let's play it first. I'll tell you what.
I love those uniforms too, by the way. I love the throwback Braves uniforms.
Yep.
All right. And
is that Bobby Cox right there?
There we go. All right.
My man is pissed.
Yes. Little upset. And here we go. All right. Let me
He's like, are you out of your effing?
Look at this.
And
look at the view the umpire
The guy
has.
is right on it.
Where?
Okay, no, let's not do that.
That's all. So this is all we're going to get.
So you're going to tell me that we
How
can
did he
better than he can? You don't think he tipped the side right there? He didn't clip it?
I don't think
even in the replay.
I mean, you could see dirt on the other side of that shoe. So
I don't know.
One more
it looked
time.
like he could have.
boom.
He's standing 5 feet, not even from it.
Not even. So yeah, I don't know how he missed that one, but
maybe he didn't.
Well, they replayed it and New York called it as well. So maybe he didn't, but I can't see how he touched that base. I mean, his foot clearly bounced over it, but
he didn't. There's no way he touched that base. No way.
I feel like physics would dictate that could not have happened. Like the foot clearly bounced way over it. But I said, I have him on my fantasy teams. It counts as a run. Totally fine. I'm good with it. So
I watched those pitches the other night, Jim, with my dad, where the ump was missing, and they showed him on ESPN. And I'm watching it, and they're like, and then there's this one, and then there's this one, and then there's this one, and I'm just like, how is this guy? And then it was like, and then this one's a strike, and it's like out of the zone, and then there's one like right down the middle ball, and it's like
unbelievable. I couldn't, once in a while they miss a call. Okay, it happens. But you can't miss that many. There was, I think, one on Frazier where the guy he's on the inside part of the catcher, and the ball comes inside, buzzes, almost hits strike. No way, no. You're standing on that side. How did you not see that? Oh my God! You should. You know what they're going to do? Probably start challenging calls. Strike 3? No, let's challenge it.
So what I don't get is why can't they put and I was thinking about this as I was watching it. With all the technology, you can't put like an infrared around what the strike zone would be. And I know it's going to change every batter, but I think people are smart enough to figure this out, where it automatically clicks like a buzzer to the umpire, whether it's a strike or a ball. It automatically updates whatever, and then all the umps are there for are plays at home like that one. I mean, where they had a recall, stuff like that. They have the technology for that. You know what I mean? I walk in work every day and get my temperature taken by a camera, and it shows like an infrared picture of my body there. Yeah. They can figure it out. You know,
Yeah.
so you can't tell me that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd love to see something like that because then there would never be a missed call, kind of like RoboCops. But I'd still like to see a human behind there, just for, I don't know.
Yep. No, I agree.
Maybe not. I don't know.
Right. I mean, you could literally just have something beep or click for a ball or a strike.
Yes.
You know,
Right. Green light, red light.
Yes.
Right? Well, that's it.
something.
Done.
Yeah.
Done.
Even just
No argue. What are you gonna do? Argue with the computer? What are you gonna hit it with the bat? You know, no, you can't do anything. That's it. That's what it is.
I think as long as you program the umpire to do the dance like in Naked Gun 2.5 when he calls him a strike and he starts dancing, remember?
That's right. Enrico
Leslie
Palazzo.
Nielsen.
Enrico Palazzo. What?
I love that.
We should bring it up. I mean, they're trying everything in the minors anyway. I don't know why they're not testing this out to see if it
longer
work.
mounds.
Yeah,
Longer
that's a better idea. Yeah, throw it further. Okay.
No. So
did you hear
do
that?
it in like the Northern League or something? What is it, like an independent league? Is that what it is?
Move the pitching mound back, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
like
it's
2 feet or something like that.
What? How could you do that?
I don't know.
The guys are throwing too hard. They're too strong now. You know, and
so they're going to be
Why don't you just
pitching
move the batter's box? Move the batter's box back then.
No, why don't they make them throw with the opposite arm? You know, I mean, I'd rather see that, to be quite honest.
Yeah. No, but I heard that. I heard them moving the mound back, and I'm like, no, that's changing the whole game. The other little rules, whatever, but you can't start changing the dimensions of things.
Yeah. I would say maybe if guys start throwing 110 and like you literally can't react to a pitch or get out of the way of it in time because it's, you know, at the current distance, like potentially maybe you would have to move it back because you're throwing, like, at what speed can you no longer react in time at 60 feet, whatever, or what is there? I don't remember what the field or the pitcher dimension was. 63 feet, 6 inches. Is that what it is?
No, 60 and 6 inches, I think.
60 and 6,
feet,
thank you.
60 feet, 6 inches.
Yeah. So at what speed can your brain no longer react to it or be able to get out of the way if it's coming at you? Like, that's the only way I can see it.
Especially
right now,
when you could throw a 75-mile changeup off of that. Oh my God.
Right.
Right. My fastball's 110, my changeup 75. Come on. Okay.
Right.
Who was the guy that threw the pitch the other day?
The old Ephus. Oh, the 58-mile-an-hour
Somebody
curveball,
threw one.
right?
Was it Greinke? I think it was Greinke.
Probably.
He threw it for a strike too. It was just a little 30-mile-an-hour pitch, and it went. Come on.
It's one of those things where you're geared up for 110, you swing at 70, and you're already halfway back to the dugout before the ball is caught.
You throw your back out, you know, your shoulder pops out of place.
It's like the Bugs Bunny cartoon.
Yeah.
The ball's still coming.
That's one of my favorite ones too.
Oh my God, the Gas
Bugs
House
Bunny
Gorillas
playing first base. Bugs Bunny playing second base. Yes.
The Gas House Gorillas, aka New York
smoking
Yankees.
Cigars, you know, and they're out in the field smoking cigars.
That's right.
Back when
they're swinging tree trunks instead of bats.
Yeah,
puts the tree down. He's swinging a tree trunk.
I know.
Oh, that's great stuff.
My dad used to smoke cigarettes coaching third. You can ask Johnny Muck about this. On the bench, third base, he got a cigarettes wrapped up in his t-shirt, smoking away. Oh yeah. Back in the day when we weren't so PC, I guess.
Yeah, when you were watching Jackie Robinson break through, right?
Not quite, but yes, almost. I wish I could have. I wish I could say I was part of that positive part of baseball history. I do.
Yeah.
But no, Joe, I'm not quite that old, my friend. But remember, Joe, I'm still in my 40s right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah, for a few more minutes.
Yeah, my Uncle Dickie. Lost him out.
No, so Jackie Robinson Day. What are your guys? We've never talked about this, but what do you like about it? What do you think about it?
Well, I mean, just the history of it. You know, I mean, it's. I mean, he broke the barrier. He broke the barrier for baseball. You know, the movie still gives me chills when I watch it, and not to bring up the movie, it's not to overshadow him. I can't remember the guy who played. What other movie was he in? when he said we were going to wear the same number so they can't tell us apart. You know, I mean, I thought that was pretty cool. It's giving me chills just saying that. It was something along that.
Chadwick,
Chadwick
Yes.
Boseman?
what's his name?
Boseman? Yeah.
Yeah. When he
Yeah.
said that, he goes, you know, we'll wear the same number or whatever, so nobody can tell us apart. I just thought it was awesome. And I mean, he was a great player too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There was a lot of great players that never had the chance to play Major League Baseball. And it's sad, you know, it's sad, but I'll tell you what, you know, pioneers like that is what paved the way for other players. You know, always look ahead, don't look behind. But in this, you know, it's probably good to look behind and let's not repeat, you know, let's not repeat what happened before him. So,
and you think about everything he had to deal with, all the controversy and
everything.
hate that he had to deal with coming up
absolutely.
Just to play baseball.
Just to play baseball.
Which is weird. You can't even really wrap your mind or truly appreciate what it was, because it's the game is evolved to every corner of the planet now. I mean, I don't think there's a continent that a player hasn't come from a race that a player hasn't come from. So it's just weird to even think that, because for me, being a Mariners fan, sign anybody who's going to make the team better. Anybody. I don't care if he's a Martian. If he can hit the ball 450 feet, sign him. I will buy the jersey and cheer him on.
That's right.
I don't care. But it's
but even then, even when he did break the color barrier there, I think for I don't know how many years when they traveled, right? He couldn't stay in the same hotel still. He couldn't eat in the restaurant that they ate in. So it was okay. He made it, but what did he make? Okay, he got to play, but he still didn't get to stay with the team or eat with the team, or So how and I don't remember how many years that went on for. Maybe his whole career. I don't know. But like you said, I mean, he paved the way for how many guys today. And if it wasn't him, when would it have happened? How much longer would it have ever happened? I mean, would it only be a white game or whatever you want to call it? I mean, it is. It's great that it's celebrated, because it really did change the game. I mean, it's and like you said, Mariano, last one to wear number 42. The greatest closer of all time, getting to wear that number last was pretty impressive too.
You know, I mean, it's kind of fitting. It's kind of fitting that he did that.
And then he goes in unanimously in the Hall of Fame, and it just closes the whole thing. But
to think of a player that could it could have been any player that ended 42, just some mediocre player that had a long career that went that hung around long enough, but for it to end with Mariano Rivera, the most arguably the most dominant closer that you may ever see. That's
not arguably, and a kid that started out in Panama using a piece of cardboard for a glove because he couldn't afford a glove, goes from that to the greatest of all time is, I mean, it's movie stuff, right? I mean, that's a movie script right there, and it probably will be, right? But
if you think about it,
likely.
Jackie Robinson probably paved the way for that.
Absolutely,
because and it's just it didn't just affect. One group of people. It affected everybody. That's what was great about it. That's what was great about it. So,
like how many Latino players were in the league back then as well? Like I don't know the answer to that, but
I'm guessing probably not many.
Right, but did he pave the way for Roberto Clemente to make his mark, which then drove the huge baseball culture and following in Puerto Rico, and then which trickled to
like Cuba,
Central America.
Cuba, sure,
right. The impact that he had, I undoubtedly you can tie back to Jackie Robinson breaking through and opening up that door. So just incredible. So, and it's just awesome. I think it's one of the coolest things to see. No names on the back of jerseys and 42 on every single.
That's what it was. That's what it was. No names, and he says that way they can't tell us apart. That's what he said.
It's awesome. It's such a cool thing to see, and thankful because I can't imagine. Like honestly, I wouldn't even be a Mariners fan if it wasn't for Ken Griffey Jr. Like that was my childhood idol growing up, and my favorite player. And without him, I'd still be a Yankees fan.
Yep.
So,
Thank you, Ken Griffey Jr.
Thank you for swapping me over to a 20-year losing streak. So I appreciate it.
Well, not only that, I mean, the greatest swing I think baseball will ever and has ever seen. There's not a better swing. People can say Will Clark. No way. It's not even close. It's not even close.
I don't think so.
There's no way. Barry Bonds had a great swing, but Ken Griffey's was just so
iconic. It's iconic.
Natural and pure and smooth, the way his hips turned and how his left hand came off and his right arm was straight out. I mean, nothing. You can't top that swing. You just can't.
Just the little waggle and everything is just perfect.
And as much fun as he had out there, God, remember he'd jump up on the wall and catch fly balls, and he's smiling from ear to ear like a kid playing Little League. He approached that game.
When he robbed Jesse Barfield back then, went up, took it back over, and
for the Yankees, right? Yeah, for the Yankees, right?
Yankee Stadium, the old Yankee Stadium.
Yep. Back in, what was that, 90? 89, 90, somewhere early, very early in his career. So, it was incredible. So, thank God that we were able to finally get a little bit smart and welcome Jackie Robinson and people of other races and nationalities into baseball. And it's amazing that we're still having trouble with it today. I still can't wrap my mind around it, but
I can't.
You'd think, especially if you're a sports fan, you'd think you'd be okay with everybody. Like
with everybody.
How can you not be? Yeah, you could see on the field. You could see on the field that it's equal across every race and nationality. So
now you got Ohtani in California. I mean, you got people from all over the world playing, right? I mean, it's
treat people how you want to be treated. It's simple. It doesn't matter who they are, what they look like. Treat them how you want to be treated, and everything will be fine.
Yeah,
man, I may have to staple that. I may have to trademark that one.
That's right. Did you just?
I mean, nobody else
that
has ever said that. Just me. Just me.
I love the ignorant people that think that way, and I always ask people like, "Well, did you have a say in where or what you were born to prior to popping out?" Like, nobody asked me if I wanted to be an American or a Chinese or an Indian. Like, it was just here I am. So like, wake up. Like, come on, you didn't have a say in who you are. So. Nobody else did. Treat them right until they prove they shouldn't be. Like, that's the way I look at it.
That's right.
Anyway, all right. So let's get off that. So now moral and ethics class is complete. Hopefully you all got an A, but we will be grading papers as soon as possible and get those grades out to you. So so let's roll into the double no hitters this week. How incredible was that? Like.
You know what sucks about the one last night, though? A slider hits the guy in the top of the foot, in the ninth inning with one out. Oh,
yeah, it's almost like Pete Alonso sticking his elbow out.
Sticking his elbow out just a little bit.
Just enough.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what. I didn't watch the game. When I woke up, I watched all the highlights to it, and, man, what a great attitude that guy had. He goes, the second I threw it, I knew it was going to be problems. And he goes, it just wasn't meant to be, and just like that, it's not like, oh man, no, he was just so happy he did it. And then somebody asked him, somebody goes, are you going to send the ball into the Hall of Fame? And he goes, I don't know. I've never thrown a no-hitter before. Is that what I'm supposed to do? I mean, he was just such a great attitude about it. And look out for those White Sox. I think I picked the White Sox to win that division this year with Tony La Russa. So look out for them. Look out for them.
Yeah, that's a young team that's crushing. But
sure is.
Man, I'll tell you what, August 15th, 2012, still the last day of perfection by King Felix.
Yeah.
So, incredible. 2012 was the last perfect game thrown in baseball, and he still got the crown. As much as I was watching that game last night, and I didn't want him to throw a perfect game, so I wasn't upset about it. I want the King to hold on to that title as long as he can because he deserves it. But man, I still remember back watching that. I was a few days away from deploying, and I was packing up my house and moving out of everything. And I remember sitting on my mattress in the living room floor, watching him throw that perfect game before I packed up the rest of my stuff. It was incredible that Just watching
Mhm.
an actual perfect game with no
Yeah.
mistakes.
Yeah.
Awesome. Absolutely
Yeah.
awesome. So I'm
Boring.
That was our last
Boring.
deployment too.
Right.
That was our last
Boring.
deployment too,
Yeah.
Joe,
No,
wasn't it? Together?
Nope. No, that was our last one was what, 15? 14.
Was it 14? I
I
thought it
think
was
it was
12.
14. No, I don't
Where
think
was
so.
that?
I think that was
The
14.
one of the stands?
Yes.
Kazakhstan, something?
That
No.
was
Uzbekistan?
Qatar.
Qatar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Deployment, whatever.
It was a pool. We still worked hard, though. I'll tell you
Yeah.
what. We still
I
worked.
definitely did.
So what about you talking
all
about the last perfect game? Who was the guy? I think it was Detroit, right? The kid on the last, I think it was like the 27th out, the umpire, maybe Jim Joyce, called him safe and he was out and blew the call and blew the kid's perfect game. You remember
And
that?
no hitter.
It was
And
like
no
maybe
hitter.
I think it was a perfect game.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like it was like 5 years ago, maybe. And
Yeah,
at
that was
first
pretty
base,
recent.
he can't. And I think actually the pitcher covered the bag. I think he ran over, covered the bag, caught the ball, and he's ready to safe.
Damn,
What?
I got to look this up.
The kid's name it's a long name. I want to say a Spanish last name.
I remember that. I remember that.
I can't think of it. But yeah, the guy with the big mustache, the ump. I think it was Jim Joyce.
Yeah.
He called safe and he started crying because he realized he blew it for the kid.
He blew it.
And I don't think they had replay yet.
Armando Galarraga.
There you go. I knew it was a long name.
That's who it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember him going up and apologizing to him like
he was crying.
He was
crying.
Yeah.
You know what?
Easy.
I don't care if the runner's past the bag, you're calling them out. You're calling them out.
That's right.
If it's
What year, Joe?
remotely close.
That was
5 years, 6 years?
June 2nd, 2010.
10 years?
Shut up.
What year is this? 11
It's
years?
20
Jim Joyce.
Almost 11 years.
Was it 11 years ago?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I almost said 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Are you just messing with us right now or what?
Not according to everything the internet says. It was.
Yeah.
Oh my God. What's happening?
I think he covered the bag and was ready to celebrate because he felt the ball hit and the guy hit the bag and he knew he had him and Joyce called him safe.
So he's got it.
So when did replay start then? Because that replay had to start after 2010 because they would have went to replay. When it started, 2011? Was that the catalyst that started replay?
Should have been. Let's see.
Oh, what a terrible call too. Just an absolute gross call.
Yeah.
Let's see.
They should have threw a hot dog at him.
Replay review to be used at the end. It says 2008. Instituted replay review to be used at the umpire's discretion.
Reviewable? Maybe
not.
That wasn't reviewable then? I don't know.
That's right. It was only for home run calls.
Oh,
fair or foul in or out of the ballpark, fan interference. That's right. When they first started, it was
put in a clause about like no hitters and perfect games.
Yeah.
Manager's challenge started in 2014.
There you go.
Wow.
They couldn't do it. They couldn't do it then.
Yep. Which is crazy. But yeah, I mean, so he's got the
sorry, Mark.
He's got an unofficial perfect game.
Right. Well, I guess
the first and only officially unofficial perfect game in history. I mean, nobody else can say that. That's impressive.
So,
and then Joe Musgrove.
Right there. Oh yeah, last week.
Go ahead.
No, so Johnny Muck. When I said throw a hot dog at him, Johnny Muck's the only 12-year-old. I believe you were 12, right, Johnny? That struck out to end a City Series game. And a fan threw a hot dog at him. 12 years old.
Come on.
I think it had mustard on it too, right, John? If I remember, because there was mustard on your helmet.
Did it hit him?
Oh, yeah, it hit him.
The hot dog hit him?
I want to say it hit him in the helmet. Johnny Muck, help me remember, because I was at that game. I remember. Come on. I didn't see it happen, but his team was pissed. He played for the Cubs, and they were just dominating. I mean, they're great team. Great team for 3 years in Little League. Yeah, looking to end the game. Johnny, was it mustard on the helmet? That was right after the game.
So was it? It was one of your teammates'
Oh, 10 minutes after.
It had to be one of your teammates' fathers, I guess, right?
I don't know who it was.
Who would have threw it? It had to be somebody rooting for your team.
Johnny Muck, did you ever know who threw that?
Hopefully it wasn't his relative.
That'd
be terrible.
That would be the best.
Was it Butch?
Oh my God. At least they weren't $20 hot dogs like at the stadium. They're probably
12 years old. It had to be the 83 City Series, Lynn City Series. Someone's uncle.
Wow. See? That's crazy. Oh my God.
Oh man. Was it really? Someone's
Isn't
uncle.
That crazy?
These
guys that
oh my goodness.
Fights.
And I know who it is then. Okay. Johnny, I won't even say it, brother. I won't even say it on that.
That's passion right there.
Is the guy still alive? Well, maybe we could have him on the show.
He is. He is still alive. If it's who I think it is,
you think he remembers that? You think he remembers that? Or was he bombed? Was he bombed on a sideline?
No. It wasn't bombed.
Really?
If he hit him in the head and left a mustard stain, he's got to remember. If he would have missed with the hot dog, he probably wouldn't have forgot. But how funny that had to be! Like, pow, right off the side.
Yeah. Wow.
I thought it was right after because I was there with my dad. I still remember. I was here with my dad, and awesome. Somebody goes, "Muck just got hit with a hot dog," and of course, at the time, it's funny. But now I look back, I'm like, that's like terrible.
Yeah. Maybe he had a bet on a game. Maybe he was betting on you guys to win.
And that's how Philly. That's how Philly started throwing batteries.
See that? So I don't know what else you got, Joe. But speaking of betting on games, so today's Pete Rose's 80th birthday.
Wow.
Oh.
So here's a guy. Now you think about why he was banned and not in the Hall of Fame and everything. And a lot of people that probably never even saw him play. I saw him play. I remember watching him play. I remember watching him steal. I watched him get the hit that he broke the record with. I mean, this guy never slowed down. This guy was amped up 100% of the time, flying around in the box, slap hitting, bunting, stealing, everything. He did everything you're supposed to do to get on. And then he bets and then he gets banned. And now you look at baseball today with fantasy and all this stuff going. You're going to tell me guys aren't betting. You're going to tell me guys don't have fantasy with guys on their team, their own teammates on their fantasy. And all of that is okay. Everything's fine. But this guy still is on the outside looking in. Why? When? What are they going to wait till he passes away and then say, you know what, we're going to put up a statue now? No, I mean, do it now while he's alive. I don't understand.
They never will.
But why? Why?
Because
look at all these guys that
that
do
line
worse.
in the sand. I agree, and I hate it, man. I hate it.
But the time has come to revisit it.
I agree, but I don't think they ever will. I don't think they ever will.
So
if they haven't by now, they never will.
So we talked about Jackie Robinson, right? There was a line in the sand for that. Whites only. That's it. Yeah. And then somebody broke through, right? So he breaks through. So now, okay, they drew a line. No betting. Now everyone's betting. Come on. Everyone does fantasy. So now
MLB
it's like,
has,
you know what?
MLB has partnerships. MLB has partnerships with casinos and DraftKings and different avenues, and individual teams have their own partnerships with DraftKings and whatnot. Wow. You see DraftKings advertisements in Yankee Stadium out there. And so, I mean, now baseball is promoting gambling and betting.
Yeah.
And
they just signed with the NFL today. NFL, FanDuel, DraftKings, FanDuel, and Caesars Palace, I believe.
Yeah, MGM Caesars.
All up today. Yeah, Johnny. See, that's
no, I didn't know about that. His own teammates said no.
Teammates and other Hall of Famers have said no.
So Johnny Bench and
I don't know.
Bill Morgan and Tony Perez.
Like who? I don't know. I mean, but I've heard about it. I mean, he should be in the Hall of Fame. I mean, shit, I remember watching him, Jim, and I know you did, and he was coaching and playing.
Yeah.
And pinch hitting. He would walk up with a bat in his hand and tell him, hey, I'm pinch hitting right now.
Bench Morgan. Wow.
Morgan. Okay.
Well, Morgan passed away now, but wow, I mean, that's unbelievable.
Yeah. But even back then, I mean, it's just a different time. And if you're not betting against your team, if you're betting on yourself, what is wrong with that? I mean, that's like taking a 1-year Flyer contract, betting on yourself to have an awesome year and earn a giant contract next year. You're betting on yourself to have an awesome year.
if it was the Red Sox,
The Black Sox.
Black Sox scandal,
Yeah.
and you're betting against your team and you're tanking,
Absolutely.
then yes,
You're
then
done.
it's wrong. But if you're betting that you're going to win, or betting that you're going to hit a home run, or you're going to get 5 RBI, what the hell's wrong with that?
Who did he bet with?
I have
Was it a
no idea.
casino? Was it a bookie? Was it
Probably
was
a bookie.
it
Probably bookies back
Right.
then.
Yeah, and he
Right,
was a
so-
player manager, not a coach, right?
maybe that's why. Maybe there was more to it. I mean, I don't know. I think he should be in.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he shouldn't be. I'm just saying I don't think they're ever going to let him in.
No.
Because if
But
they
I mean,
would have, they would have
Al-
already done it.
Alex's point goes down that same avenue. I mean, you're caught cheating to win.
Right.
And if that's going to stand, if you take Barry Bonds, is Barry Bonds' home run record the record? Yes. I mean,
Yeah.
we don't talk about
mean-
it, but it's currently the home run record, right? It's what
Yeah.
I don't even know what it is to show you how much it means to me. But what is it? What 77 games
73?
or 77 home runs?
73.
73?
73.
Is it? Yeah, it shows you how little it means to me as well.
Mhm.
Right.
But it's still the home run record, and we don't know he's cheating, but he's blackballed from baseball for cheating.
Right.
So, if you're going to get these guys if you're going to let these things stand for cheating, and the Astros are the perfect one.
Yeah.
How do you not? The
Yep.
Red Sox, the same thing. They won it with Cora, and I don't know if he was cheating or not, but I mean, he was fired. He was fired for a year, right?
You don't know.
For
You
that,
don't.
right?
Suspended for a year.
He was investigated and suspended. We know he was cheating. There's no question.
He was.
So, all right. So you've got both of those, but no titles are wiped away for
Right.
actual cheating to help your team win. And all he's doing is saying, "I'm putting $500 down, saying we're going to win today."
Right.
That's a reason to be kicked out of baseball for
Mhm.
life. I
No.
mean,
Not at all.
I'd like to see. I'm going to look up later on. What did Bench say? Why is he saying no? I mean, what happened? Maybe they knew more in the clubhouse and the dugout. I mean, but
was it just
why would he be offended if he was betting on him to win?
Yeah.
I don't understand it.
unless it was just
Was
the
he
times.
changing the lineup? Was he putting himself higher in the lineup to bat more or something?
Right.
Or did he? I mean, if he's only trying to influence the team in a way that they're going to win, put the best team on the field to win, so he wins his bet. What the hell do the other guys care?
Right.
It's different if you're trying to sabotage a team, and it doesn't sound like that's what
Absolutely.
he was doing.
Absolutely.
I don't understand it. I don't get it.
Yeah. If you're that confident in yourself and your team, what's the difference between just going up there and saying, we're going to win the World Series, or we're going to win today, or I've got $500 that says we're going to win today? What's the difference?
Yeah, that's right.
There's nothing. And that's the perfect. You see it all the time, especially in football. These guys sign 1-year contracts, prove it contracts. They go crazy, have an awesome year, and earn a $50 million 4-year contract on the other side of it. That's a gamble. That's exactly the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll take $1 million. Cam Newton, I'll take $1 million 1-year contract, prove it.
Mm-hmm.
He played well. He earned more. I mean, that's the same.
Right, it's a little different because you're not cheating though. He's betting on himself, but
that's not cheating. Pete Rose didn't cheat.
Right.
No, but he gambled on baseball when there was rules that you couldn't. That's why. I mean,
Well, yeah, he broke the rules, but he didn't cheat.
Mhm.
right.
He
Absolutely.
didn't cheat in the game. He didn't influence
Not
the
one
game.
bit. Not one bit. Or did he? I mean, is there proof? Does Bench and Morgan know? Kind of like you're saying, Jim. They may know more than they'll ever let on,
Right.
so they don't taint them even more. You know what I mean?
But I mean, what's the difference now? I mean, what's going to happen? What is something going to change in his life? No. But I think to myself, so were there rules then? Were there rules in place that said you cannot bet on your own team? Were there rules like that? You're saying there were rules in place. So
I thought there was. I thought that's why. I thought that's what's keeping them out. I think there is still rules about that.
All right,
to be
so
quite honest.
maybe because of the Black Sox scandal, there is. So there weren't rules though that said for the guys, the Bonds and the Clemens, that said you couldn't use, Andrea or whatever the hell that stuff was called.
Right, but of course there is. But that's why they're not in the Hall of Fame either.
I know, but I'm saying so now we're at the point where nobody got in this year, right?
Yeah,
no one get in. So Clemens and Schilling and these guys that are in those talks, are still on the ballot, and now Schilling dropped out. But I mean, so if one of those guys get enough votes to make it, then what? Because now the rules are in place.
Why are they still eligible?
That you can't do it. Exactly. Why aren't you you're not getting in, you're not even on the ballot. Why are they on the ballot?
I don't know. Yeah.
Because there's a chance that they may get the votes one year.
Right.
So, who's going to be the first one to break through?
But if they were cheating, why?
But at the time, it wasn't. But at the time, it wasn't against any rule to use that.
Yeah.
When Mark Maguire was taking I can't
Andrew. It was Andrew.
When he was taking that stuff, it was just like a protein shake. Nobody said it was illegal.
Yeah. I was taking it when he was buying it on a military base when I was in Japan.
It wasn't illegal. What him and Sosa did at the time wasn't illegal. Corking your
Thanks,
back.
Alex. You too, brother.
But not that.
Right. No, Jim, I'm with you. They shouldn't even be on the ballot. I'm with you, man. I haven't even thought about that.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll ever get in because they just won't. I think that's one of those secret societies. It's like the Freemasons where they're going to run that whole thing. You know what I mean? But I don't know. To me, it's wrong how they. Yeah,
the Hall of Fame is great. Like somebody didn't vote Ken Griffey Jr. into the Hall of Fame.
How?
Really?
Tell me how.
Right?
Why? Because he got hurt.
I don't know. I can't even imagine the justification that would go through your head or why you're allowed to have a voice if you think that he's not like, how do you have a vote if you don't think Ken Griffey Jr. deserves to be in the Hall of Fame? I can't, and you were like, I'm sorry, Roger Clemens. He's one of the best pitchers ever.
Yeah,
he really is. I mean, to say that maybe he did at some point, because there's no proof that he actually did anything. It's all speculation with him too, right? He never tested positive. He never admitted to it, right?
He was linked to Belko.
Yeah, he was linked to
McAfee or whatever that kid's name was, the trainer.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. But there was nothing that he ever tested or anything. It's just,
I don't think they were testing for those hormones and shit like that. You know what I mean? So it's not going to come up in a test because that was part of the previous collective bargaining agreement. What they're going to test for? It was drugs. It was steroids. So they got away from steroids and went to something that won't pop positive.
But you're telling me like the early 90s, Roger Clemens, he wasn't taking that. I mean, that stuff came about later. No. That was a late 90s
He didn't start doing that till he went to Toronto.
And he was great.
Yes.
He was great.
Well, he won 2 Cy Youngs up in Toronto. Yeah.
Yeah. But even with Boston, he was awesome. With New York, he was awesome. Like, I'm sorry. He deserves to be in there. And
agreed.
I will say it as well. Mark Maguire deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. And I know how people feel, but you know what? He saved baseball. Him and Sammy Sosa saved baseball.
Yes.
And you're telling me that you look at Mark Maguire's rookie card, he's built smaller than I am. And then in 98, his arms are the size of friggin' Ricky Williams quads. And you're gonna tell me that this is just a normal workout routine, but nobody cared. Nobody cared because that summer was the best summer in baseball.
Right. I remember where I was when he broke the record.
Yeah,
I was
saved
in Bayonne in the Elks Lodge at the bar. We watched it and it was unbelievable. I mean, how could you not cheer for it? Him and Sosa. Right. It was great every night. You couldn't wait to see it.
Yeah. It was literally it was Mantle and Maris. All over again. Like nobody the two of them battling back and forth. And then it was in that game against each other too.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. Sosa came running in to congratulate him, which is even better. But I mean,
that's what was cool about the whole thing. Like how much they got along. They were rooting for each other. You know what I mean? Each of them wanted them to kind of do it. You know what I mean? It was
the Bayonne bleeder. Look at this. Monk, how does he know this?
He knows his history, man.
Wow.
I don't know anybody that knows more about history than Monk. No one.
I absolutely
possibly
think
the Rocky, where the Rocky story came from, but yeah,
I think it just sucks that these guys were used to rehabilitate baseball after the strike and everything, bring baseball back to the forefront, and then all of a sudden you're going to be like, wait a second, you were cheating. you can't play. Like if you said the rules weren't in place that said you can't take this stuff, like, yeah, maybe steroids are illegal, but if baseball didn't say you can't take it, we're going to test for it, all this other stuff.
Baseball's not keeping them out, though. You know, the Hall of Fame
the writers
is affiliated with it. Right. So yes, baseball didn't really react until they had to. Yeah. You know what I mean? Baseball didn't start reacting until kids were starting to do andro and all this stuff, and it became so big that they just had to do something. So then they had to stop it. Of course, after baseball was back and flourishing, and, you know, Rafael Palmeiro's hitting 47 home runs at the age of 46, you know. Yeah. Brady Anderson's hitting 49 home runs. You know, all these guys start popping up, and they're like, wait a minute, we can't have a bunch of juice guys running around because, you know, baseball's America's pastime. Yeah. So then baseball kind of squashed it for a while. Then Bonds hit, you know, what he hit 762 or whatever he hit. So he's the leader, but nobody acknowledges that. They still say Hank Aaron.
Right.
But then, to me, just like you said, Joe, they turned their backs on him, the Hall of Fame. I don't think baseball ever truly did, though. I don't think baseball gave a shit, you know, or else they would have squashed that well before it all happened. You know what I mean? So, Jesus, look at the contracts now. Look at the TV money they're making. It's all because of Maguire and Sosa. I mean, it really is. You can go back that far.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they were struggling to get fans back in the stadium.
It was dead. Baseball was dead. Yeah. I mean, it really was.
Right. It was a lost sport. That's your scapegoats. You know, yes. Hey, bring us back, and then we're gonna, you know, throw you under the bus.
Right.
To regain our name, you know, get our namesake back to respectability. But you guys are gonna be the goats that take it. You know what I mean? So I think he absolutely deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
Absolutely.
Nobody had a problem with it then. You shouldn't. They're all the writers that vote them in. And I guarantee you can go back to 98 and probably read articles by every one of those people that vote these Hall of Famers in that were oohing and ahhing about what was going on. I bet you did. I bet you can't go back and find one that's like, oh, what they're doing is despicable. They're tarnishing the game. They're ruining the sport for everybody.
No,
and
not at all.
No. So if you can go back and find those articles, then you can vote against him not being in the Hall of Fame. But if their articles are positive for what he did to baseball, then he deserves to be in Hall of Fame for what he did for the game. That's what I think. So,
even if you had him in a separate section, right? I mean, so when it's 50 years from now, 100 years from now, and people go to the Hall of Fame, and you could look back at, oh, yeah, this was something that happened, just like the Black Sox thing, right? And I don't remember. I've been to the Hall of Fame a couple times. If there was a Black Sox thing, or if they talk about it, nothing.
No.
I mean, but why not have something where they show even video of how big the guys were? And I mean, they were humongous. I was right behind in Yankee Stadium behind, I think Canseco was on Tampa Bay at the time. He came out of the dugout and it was like a Macy's Day Parade balloon. I mean, he was just humongous. He's swinging a bat. I'm like, look at the size of this guy. I couldn't even see around him. It was, they just, it's just.
Do you remember when Nomar was on the cover of SI?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Cut up. And I mean, he was a monster. And I'm like, wait a minute. Nomar was smaller than I am. Time out. And he was on the cover of SI, jacked, all oiled up. And I'm like, hey, man, good for you. I think that's when he was with Mia Hamm.
Mia Hamm, yeah.
Man, he was.
How do you just squash that, though? I don't agree with squashing it. It should be. It was a part of the history. Yes. Right? It was a huge part of the history for a little while. So how do you just it's not included? I mean, come on. I don't agree with that.
I don't either. I think it should be in because it is history. And you go back to that year, you ask any fan that could remember 98. I mean, that was what year compares?
No, not except the year the Bonds went on that run. Every time they pitched to him, he either got hit, he got intentionally walked, or he hit a home run. That was it. Yeah. That was it. I mean, it was amazing. Incredible. It was
much fun to watch.
Oh,
so much fun to watch.
Right. But again, it was tied to what they were doing. And it was exciting because they were hitting the ball a mile.
That's what people want to see. People want to see home runs.
Yes. Remember
So,
all the kayaks in the bay
Covey?
there in San
yeah,
Francisco,
and
man?
McCovey Cove.
Oh
McCovey
my
Cove.
goodness, they were just out there fighting for those
Yeah.
balls. And it was just like,
Diving off
it
the
was
boats to
so
Yeah.
much fun to watch. It really
Yeah.
was. You want to get
That
people
water is-
amped up for baseball? Show them that kind of stuff. That's
Yeah.
what's going to get people watching.
No doubt.
think about it. You're diving into San Francisco Bay. They put Alcatraz in there
Delicious.
so people couldn't swim to
Right.
survive. You would die of hypothermia before you made it to land, and they're jumping in the water to get a ball from him. Like,
And not giving
Think
a
about
shit
that.
about it.
No,
And not giving
no.
a shit about it.
8 people
Yep.
diving in, drowning each other, pushing each other under the
Well,
water.
you know they're
trying to get
beating the
away.
shit out of each other under the water. I mean, you're coming
Oh,
out of
yeah.
there with some bruised ribs or a
Right,
black eye
right.
or something.
Well, you getting
Oh.
hit with paddles. Bang.
Exactly. Somebody's wife or friends in the other one. You're getting bashed in the
Yep.
skull.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
No. I mean,
boy.
have either one of you been to that stadium?
I haven't.
No.
I've
Never
been there.
been to San Francisco.
I walked on that wall. Oh, really? San Francisco. That's another place I could live besides New York. But yeah, walked on that wall around the back, and I saw all of that. And I was there like in 2002 or 3, and Bonds was playing. He was playing. I don't think he had home run that night, but all those guys were out there in the water, and yeah, you were fighting for your life if you went in. You might not ever hold you down with the oar. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, it's
yeah, I wouldn't
incredible.
want to be doing that.
No.
No, that water's filthy. It's filthy. I mean,
Yeah.
you couldn't go in there.
You can't even scuba dive in there because you can't see shit.
That's right. Is this? What's this in front of me?
Is this my hand or is this a squid?
No, it's just another body.
Oh, yeah.
No way.
I do that too.
It's the Alcatraz people.
Yeah.
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 Oh, you got to go
Anyway.
out there. You got to go to Alcatraz. I mean, it's such.
I
a
do.
great
I want to
trip.
hit San Fran, but I
Oh
want to
my
go
God,
in,
it's
the,
great.
in the summer or fall is when I want to go.
Right. Joe, you're right
Yeah.
there. Get in the car, shoot down Route 5, and go see it.
Right there. it's a little ways away, but yeah.
AT&T
yeah,
or
and then-
PNC?
Ooh.
So,
Ooh.
I mean, I'll tell you, it was. So, what was it called when I went out there? Was it Pac Bell or?
I think it was. But
I
or was
feel
that-
like it was. They had changed names a couple times, quickly, different banks or whatever. I think it was Pac Bell, and San Fran was great because you were able to walk all the way around. You could walk along the water and go through left field like Yankee Stadium. You could do that now. You couldn't do that before. So AT&T, what is better, AT&T
Or
or PNC?
PNC.
Or
Yeah.
So
PNC.
AT&T is
San Francisco now.
San Francisco now.
so I was only in it when it was Pac
It was still the same stadium, right?
That's still the same stadium.
Yeah.
They didn't rebuild it.
Yeah, they didn't rebuild
So,
it.
so I think he's asking,
So
do
which
you
do
like
you
the
like
one in
better?
San Fran or the one in Pittsburgh?
Okay. I wasn't putting it together.
Yeah. Clearly.
So yeah.
Don't worry, I
I'm thinking,
speak
what
monk.
am I
I
missing here?
speak monk.
Man, they're both nice. They're both right on the water. But no, I would say I think the San Fran was cooler. I mean, because it was exciting. Although I do like Pittsburgh also. At the time, I think it was cool too because it was the first time I think I was out in San Fran and got to see the Golden Gate, and I took the Alcatraz tour and got to go into PNC and they have these Gilroy fries, they're called. So Gilroy is a town in California, and they grow garlic. You drive through it, all you smell is garlic. And they have the Gilroy fries. So when you go in, as soon as you walk in the stadium, you get blasted with garlic. It's great. And yeah, Gilroy fries is the thing to get there. But yeah, I'm gonna say San Fran was better.
Wow. Because they have the giant mid out there in the Coca-Cola.
They do. Coca-Cola, yes, that's right. That's right. Yeah, it's a cool
I don't know,
stadium.
man. I think I haven't been to either of them, but if I had to pick one, I'd probably would rather go to PNC. Just to walk across the Clementi Bridge, to see that backdrop,
Yep.
sit up there, the whole downtown backdrop, like it looks gorgeous. It really does.
It is.
You
It
know,
is. Mhm.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
get
think
out. You
can't
get
go
out to
wrong.
more of them. Yeah, no, you
Yeah.
can't.
I
You
mean,
can't.
God, you can't go wrong picking either or. I mean, I want to go to both places. I've always wanted to go to San Francisco because the Golden Gate, the history and stuff like that. But I do think Pittsburgh will be cool too. So either way, doesn't matter.
All good stuff. Yep.
Nice. Alex, welcome back to the show. Bud.
Welcome back.
We're still here.
Did you get tickets for Saturday yet? It's crazy. The Mariners are so popular and there's 9,000 tickets available and you could still buy them.
And the worst part is they're like $7.46 a piece. You know what I mean?
Oh, they're so cheap. They're so cheap. It's such a nice stadium. I don't know if you guys haven't been. I
have been to Seattle. When I was in Seattle, though, they weren't playing. I don't think it was baseball season when I went. But we did walk around the park, and I did want a gun. I'm not going to lie. I did want to carry a gun if I still remember that area. I felt like I was in kind of like Boston a little bit. Probably, didn't feel very safe if I remember around the park. I don't know if it's still like that.
I mean, it's close to like it's close to the water and like the piers and the area. I mean, part of it does feel a little sketchy. It depends on which angle you're coming from. If you're coming from the south up to the north area, like that part seems kind of sketchy. But if you're coming from like Seattle down, it's like nicer in that direction. But of
all
course,
I know is the area we were at. We were by some people we shouldn't have been. And I think they even started yelling at us. It was kind of funny. But I enjoy Seattle. I mean, Seattle's a great place. I absolutely loved it there. Okay, that's probably where we were then. Okay, that's probably where we were.
Yeah. I don't know what 1 through 10 Seattle's park is a 9.
Is a 9. What are you giving them 1 through 10?
Oh, what am I giving it?
Yeah.
Man, I'd probably say.
Wow.
Depending on where you're sitting, I could say, I would give it a 9. Because if you're sitting up a little bit, like on the first base side, then you've got the Seahawks Stadium right there. You've got the downtown buildings as well. You can't see the Space Needle, that's blocked, but you got, the skyscrapers. Seattle's the Seahawks Stadium rooftop is right there. So it's nice. It's a really nice stadium. And it's nice that they can roll the roof shut if it starts raining and you don't have to sit there and get soaking wet and be miserable. But nice flow, a lot of like art and stuff inside, especially when you walk in like the very front of it. They've got this chandelier that's got like 800 bats in it, and they're all baseball bats in all different directions that light up, and it's just this huge like spiraling baseball bat chandelier. It's beautiful. A lot of really nice stuff in there. So I'd give it a 9. I don't think that's a stretch. It's a gorgeous park.
Yeah, I want to see that one. So Muck is saying it. Yeah. So I was in Camden Yards outside it last week, or I think it was last week, and I'm going to be back there in 2 weeks. And I was trying to buy tickets yesterday, and everything online you have to buy 2. I'm by myself. I'm only buying 1. But you walk around there, you get hounded, homeless. The guy's begging for money. Everyone's got counterfeit tickets. They're just all over you. I mean, they're just all over you. You're trying to get away from them, and I think I told you in Baltimore, you get in for $10 after the 5th inning, and you hang out in the outfield. But everyone and their mother's trying to sell you fake stuff, and it's sketchy. You gotta be with a little bit of a crowd. When I walk around, I gotta try and find where there's some people, so I'm not me out there.
Act like you're with them. Hey guys, what's up? Just start walking with them.
Who you rooting for tonight? You watch the Bean Apple?
take my card.
There's a couple of cards, right?
Yeah. No, Alex is right.
That's scary out there.
If the parking garage is attached to the stadium or directly across the street, so if you park in the parking garage, it's fine. But if you go like a little ways away and park a little bit cheaper, some of the areas you're walking down are a little like, yeah.
That's why you have to carry a bat. I just want to get an autograph.
Yeah.
What? I'm going to the game.
Autograph or blood doesn't matter.
That's right.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of Seattle, are they in first right now, Joe?
Yes.
So wait a minute. Let's think about this. Seattle's in first. Boston's in first. That means the Yankees can't be in first, right? Because they're in the same division.
And the Royals. Boston. And Alex's
Royals. And the Royals are in first. Sorry, Mike. The Pirates will never be in first, but I'd love to say that. Joe, I mean, we're in cloud 9 right now. It
really
may only
am.
be week 2, but hey, you got to start somewhere, right? You got to
Yeah.
It's
start
April,
somewhere.
not October.
Yeah,
Hey,
but it's the middle of April.
The
Oh.
last time Seattle was in first place after like the second game of the season, it's got to be way back in like 2000,
Exactly.
2001, 2005 probably.
This is like the Durham Bulls. I mean, look
Yeah.
at them. They're out there
Yeah.
playing baseball again.
And I mean they're 8-5. The red hot Boston Red Sox are 9-4. They lost today.
Yeah.
So I mean just one game off the Red Sox. Now their point differential is vastly different, but
Hey, it's
So
all
it
right. A
tells me
win's a win, man. Win's a win.
yeah, things are going to come back. Things are going to come back to normal right now. I mean, but yeah, the Red Sox are now plus 23. Seattle's
That's
-8.
ridiculous.
Kansas City's +2. The Yankees are
-8
+2.
in first place. How's that
-8
possible?
in first place. They
Um,
win a lot of one-run games.
Resourceful, that's how.
Joe,
Yeah.
come on. You got to be quicker than this. You got to bring up the NFL season where a team had 3 wins and was in first place 12 games in. You have to remember that.
That is true.
Yes.
Oh, Jim, I love giving it to you, man. I
That's
just
all right.
love it.
We got,
Love
but
it.
it's going to be a good season. I hope your team still perform semi, what they're doing today. So we.
I'm
can
waiting for the fire
have this
sale.
going
Yes.
for. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm
I
waiting
want
for
this.
the floor to drop out from you two.
Garrett
That's what I'm waiting
Cole, starting pitcher, Boston Red Sox. Boom.
for. Yeah. Okay. That's gonna.
Oh
happen.
man, you imagine
That's
that a healthy Chris Sale and a Garrett Cole. Whew.
Yeah.
And then
Man,
Erod is your third. Whew. Whoo, boy, Jimbo, you don't want to see that with our offense, my friend.
I can't wait.
We're not
till we
like
play.
the Yankees. We run
Can't wait
bases.
till we play you guys. Can't wait.
Oh,
till
I
we play
can't
you guys.
either. I can't either.
hey,
I'm
as
hopefully.
long as
I wanted to go up there, but it looks like every series is a weekend series. I was
It
hoping
is.
to make a trip up there and be there midweek and try and get in there, but it's all Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
It is.
yeah,
Even
it's
both
because it's
halves.
money.
That's right. That's right.
games are
Yankees
money.
come to town, they're going to bring you some money.
Yeah, you don't want to do that on a weekday.
No.
But yeah, I hope Seattle stays in first and holds on, and you guys are battling first and second all season. So we've got not last year's show to talk about.
Yes.
Oh man,
Well,
Oh,
it is a
who's
Yankee
this,
fan.
who's this stranger? I'm gonna have to
Yankees
verify
number
her
one.
credentials. I don't know.
Is
Security.
that a bot? Is that a bot?
I think it is.
Yeah.
Jim's
Yeah.
over there programming bots
Yeah.
over there.
Hold on. Give me a second. I got to do something.
No.
Yeah. Great.
All right.
Great.
So yeah, we could wrap it with this. I
Yep.
think it was good fun trip down memory lane, and man, did we go off on quite
Yeah.
the tangent there. I don't know how this happens every time.
Stadium talk. Yeah. We just go make a right.
Oh,
and
it's the
see what
best.
happens.
It's the best. So
Yep.
yeah, so it's Thursday, so we'll be back Monday for some more football chat.
Mhm.
I don't know if you guys saw, and I tried to text you guys. I don't know if you got it, but the Trevor Lawrence story. Did you guys read that in
You're
Sports
talking
Illustrated?
about the
His SI article.
well, was that the one where they were talking about his work ethic or something like that? Or
Basically, I don't. Well, we'll tease it a little bit, but I want to talk about it on Monday.
okay,
Is basically he doesn't really have a chip on his shoulder. He doesn't
That's right.
have. It's not championship or bust for him. It's not all in for a championship. If they win, they win. If they don't, they don't. It's not the end of the world type of thing. And I'm like,
Who's this?
okay, Trevor Lawrence. And he if you look it up, it's a Sports Illustrated interview that he did.
Mhm.
And then he was talking about what else? Oh, in the playoffs this year when they got steamrolled by Ohio State, like he wasn't upset about that because he did everything he could in that game.
That's the kind of team.
And I
that
was
you
like,
want.
really?
Wow.
Really? So what you're telling me is you did everything. So the reason you lost is because your team didn't do everything they could do. Right. So which also means that he had no incompletions, no interceptions, nothing that he could have done any better at all. So to me, like,
Right, it's not my
gigantic.
fault. It's their fault.
Right. Gigantic red flag. I did everything I could to win. Did you?
So
Did you?
is this some kind of
So-
ploy on his part because he doesn't want to go to Jacksonville? Maybe he puts this little sprinkle out there so they see it and think, wait a minute, we don't want him. He
I don't
doesn't
know,
want to
but-
win. He's not trying to win.
Right. Imagine that. Like, and that kind of makes me think, like, when things start getting tough, is he just going to be like, all right, well, I don't really want to play football anymore and just pack it
gonna
in
go
and leave,
surf.
like Andrew Luck style, and just I'm done with this. So,
Why
definitely
has nothing else come out about this though? From like any
this
of his
this just
coaches
came
or
out.
anything?
This
Right,
interview.
but
This interview
But none
just
of his
happened.
coaches have said that. Like Dabo Sweeney has actually said the opposite about that.
Yeah.
He's a
but
fierce
he-
competitor, or is he trying? Right.
Yeah.
To come from his mouth is
Yeah.
crazy. I thought you were talking
mean,
about something else.
No, it's a direct. I mean, look up the Sports Illustrated thing. We're going to have to talk about this on
Wow.
Monday because
All right.
that's
Yeah.
huge. I mean, if you're Jacksonville and you're reading this, are you thinking like, is this the guy that we're all in on, a guy that doesn't care if we win or lose? Like, it isn't all. I mean, imagine Tom Brady being like, if we don't win this year, it's no big deal. Like, no, like if you're not all in with Tom Brady, you're out. Like that, just get off the team. Like he lives, breathes,
That
and
is
eats
true.
championships.
That
So
is true.
if you've got a guy that's like, well, if we win this year, whatever. If we lose this year, whatever. Yeah,
So
like,
you gotta,
I don't want you. I don't want you on the team.
This weekend, you're gonna have to think about if the Jags don't take him. Do you want him coming here?
Now
Don't
I'm
say
worried.
it now. You
Yeah.
can think about it.
Now
I want the Patriots to trade up and draft him. Okay,
There
I don't
you
give
go.
a shit what he says. I want him.
I don't know. I mean, would you rather? And that's something we could talk about. Would you rather have him, or Justin Fields has got stuff to prove? He wants to win because he went into that Clemson game on fire. He took that hit and still came back hard, didn't miss a beat. If Trevor Lawrence took that hit, would he have come back? I don't know. We'll talk about it.
Let's talk about our football
Fields
show.
has been a 1A the whole 1B, 1A,
Yeah.
1B the whole time. So
So just So we'll leave it with: is there a possibility that Zach Wilson, Justin Fields go 1-2? We'll talk about it on Monday. So until then, have a great weekend. For John, for Jim, I'm Joe, and we'll catch you guys on the other side.
Happy birthday.